My starting point when it comes to the consideration of any issue relating to free speech is my passionate belief that the second most precious thing in life is the right to express yourself freely. That is because I have enjoyed free expression in this country all my professional life and fully expect to continue to do so. Personally, I suspect highly unlikely to be arrested.
Atkinson has just sent shockwaves through Westminster after unexpectedly stepping into the political arena with the beloved Mr Bean and Blackadder star delivering remarks that many say expose the darker implications of Keir Starmer's approach to free speech and comedy in Britain. In a striking intervention, Atkinson warned that Labour's policies risk undermining the very fabric of British humour, arguing that comedy depends on the freedom to offend, provoke and challenge power, not on carefully policed speech shaped by political sensitivities. His comments have reportedly left politicians scrambling to respond as the debate over censorship and expression rapidly heats up. This is Crown Brief with original UK political news in my own voice and commentary. No copied content, only facts and analysis. Watch till the end. Let's play this video.
Like the man arrested in Oxford for calling a police horse gay. Or the teenager arrested for calling the Church of Scientology a cult because of the undoubtedly privileged position that is afforded to those of a high public profile. So my concerns are less for myself and more for those more vulnerable because of their lower profile.
Atkinson's criticism is far from a throwaway remark. It is a calculated and deeply unsettling challenge to Labour's carefully polished image, one that strikes at the heart of Keir Starmer's promises on free expression. As he openly voices his fears about the direction the party is taking, particularly around comedy and the right to offend, his concerns are rooted in a growing pattern that many find alarming, from comedians facing legal consequences or public backlash for jokes, such as Count Dankula being fined for a satirical video, or Jimmy Carr facing calls for prosecution over a controversial Holocaust joke. These incidents together paint a grim picture of where British comedy may be headed. It is this cumulative effect, combined with Labour's increasingly rigid policy positions, that appears to have pushed Atkinson to a breaking point. In his view, comedy is not a luxury, but a vital social pressure valve, a way to confront uncomfortable truths, challenge authority, and expose hypocrisy. Without that freedom, Britain risked drifting into a sterile, sanitised culture where creativity is suffocated and humour loses its bite. The timing of his intervention is especially damaging for Labour as it seeks to brand itself as the party of change. Atkinson's critique exposes a glaring Achilles' heel, raising serious questions about how Starmer's policies could affect not only comedians but anyone who values free expression. Starmer once styled himself as a guardian of free speech and a champion of the arts. But those assurances now feel hollow to many in the creative world. Recent policy signals have been described by critics as censorious and intimidating, revealing a troubling gap between rhetoric and reality. Atkinson and others warn that these measures could create a chilling effect across the comedy scene, where performers feel they are constantly walking on eggshells, afraid to push boundaries or tackle controversial topics. The result, they argue, would be a watered-down version of British humour stripped of its traditional edge. The problem, Atkinson says, extends far beyond a handful of edgy jokes and touches on the preservation of a core part of British identity. The ability to laugh at ourselves, mock our leaders and use satire as social commentary. He points to what he sees as absurd real-world examples of overreach, from people being questioned by police over offhand remarks to individuals facing legal trouble for opinions or displays, incidents that sound like punchlines but are disturbingly real. He has stressed that his concern is less for himself and more for those without fame or protection, whose voices are being silenced before they can even be heard. As public awareness grows, Atkinson's stance has ignited a broader cultural reckoning, with opinion polls suggesting rising anxiety about censorship, grassroots movements forming to defend free speech, and a widening divide between advocates. Like, comment and subscribe.